I think we all are artists as we're born, and then people eventually grow out of it or are forced to get like work and other jobs. And luckily, I feel like I've been a kid my whole life, so I've just never stopped drawing, and then it just turned into painting. So I decided to open my own place. So that's when I got a pseudo studio gallery and just started open up to the public back in First Fridays.
Yeah.
And I've never stopped. So I've never really had a gallery. I've never been represented. It's just been very good word of mouth.
How do you price your work?
So hard. Very difficult question. Very difficult thing to do.
Get ready for the next iteration of you on your path to becoming wealthy. On this show, you'll get the insider's view on wealth creation, the class none of us got taught in school, with my co-host, daughter, and beginning investor, Sophia Bosch. And now, let's get started.
This year, my school has something where you can do an independent study. So you pair up with a teacher and you basically create your own class and whatever your interest is. And so this semester I did mine in art curation. So it's everything that goes into, I guess, the business side and like the artist, like
Yeah.
of art curation. So
Wait, what school are we in? You graduated, right?
no, I'm still in high school.
No way.
I'm a junior.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were already done.
Well,
Good for you.
not yet.
You're wise beyond your years. Good job.
Thank you.
You're on your way.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So basically, I just had a couple of questions. Like, it's
Do it.
not really an interview, it's more like a conversation, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's
Oh,
go.
okay, so first, I wanted to understand a little bit like background knowledge. So, what got you into like, have you always really loved painting? Like, how did you make that your main focus?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all are artists as we're born, and then people eventually grow out of it or are forced to get like work and other jobs. And luckily, I feel like I've been a kid my whole life, so I've just never stopped drawing, and then it just turned into painting. I mean, that's another whole long story we don't need to go into, but basically, I just never stopped creating, and I started painting, and then opportunities kept evolving from there, and that it was apparent that I could be an artist and make a living at it. So it just kind of happened. It wasn't really. I never thought I could do it full time. It just kind of happened, which is weird. But that's probably a terrible answer. But that's the
No.
way my journey went. I got self taught. I never went to school. I never. I mean, I took a couple classes in a community college to keep my parents happy, but it was only life drawing, and that was my journey, and then I just started painting from there and then still have for 25 something years. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and I also agree with you. I was actually just talking to my teacher about this, how like creativity, everyone is born with it. Like like I also believe we're all born with it, but some people are forced or like they either lose touch. Everyone still has it, just they forget or grow out of like forget how to like tap into that. I don't if that
Yeah,
makes
I
sense.
agree. Well, because life gets in the way, you kind of become an adult, you kind of have to start making money, you have a family, and then I think there's a lot of self-doubt too. With when you're as a kid, you're super confident and reckless because you don't have a lot of stuff clogged in your brain, so you just go. And that's another reason I didn't want to go to school for it, because I wanted to keep my brain open to just exploring and doing things the way I do them. So yeah, you're totally right. It's people all have it. They just don't use it.
Yeah. And then a little bit, you just said it just kept evolving. So, like, is that your style then? Like, how did you develop your style then?
Yeah, that's exactly my style. Like, I mean, I had a bunch of I would say high school, I was really into surrealism, and then it
Mm.
like Salvador Dali and people like that, and then it evolved into pop art, and I loved Andy Warhol, Jean-Michel Basquiat, James Rosenquist, and who painted huge, and I was always drawn to painting huge. I don't know why, just that was just what felt natural for me. I don't like to paint small. And so all these iconic people from the 80s and the pop culture just really resonated with me. And So I just started painting things that I liked and started painting things that I saw. Because as a kid, I would just copy cartoons from TV or labels on cereal boxes or whatever. And it just again, it's just I've never stopped. It's kind of still what I do.
Yeah.
So I've kind of created my own style just from what I like.
Yeah, but I well, I know that you create large.
Yeah.
But I'd like to also argue that it is like kind of small scale too, because if you look very closely, it's very intricate, like
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Well,
layers and things like that.
yeah. Well, there's a lot going on, and so that's a lot. I think another reason I need a big canvas because I have a lot of nuances, like you're saying. So thank you. Yeah, there's a lot going on in places, but I need a lot of room to squeeze it all in.
Yeah. Okay, I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I, a little bit more on like the logistics side.
Yeah.
Starting out, how did you get recognized? Like, were you going after like certain galleries, exhibitions? Were you submitting yourself? Like, how did you get exposure?
That's such an interesting question. There's so many layers to that question. It's funny because I didn't know at the time what was kind of happening, but we can go back to like community college and just really quickly, like I was drawing in life drawing, and my life drawing teacher said, "You can't draw anymore. The only way you can take my class is if you paint." So he was the reason I started painting. And so I started painting in his class. And then he took one of my paintings and entered it in a show. And then that was at the show at the school. And then the newspaper at the time came out and took a picture of my piece and put it in the paper. So I've been very blessed with being like exposed that way from the beginning. And
Yeah.
I did have dreams of I had the fame dreams, and I kind of wanted to go Andy Warhol big and be a rock star and be hugely famous. But I never got a gallery. Phoenix was really conservative at the time, and it was no one would really take on my work. It was too big, it was too wild. The first show I did was at a coffee shop, and they forced me to take it down a day after I hung it because it had some kind of nasty stuff in it, but not that nasty. But anyway, so I couldn't get anybody to show my stuff. So I decided to open my own place. So that's when I got a pseudo studio gallery and just started open up to the public back in First Fridays. So,
Yeah.
and I've never stopped. So I've never really had a gallery. I've never been represented. It's just been very good word of mouth. And Phoenix has been super good to me that way. So it's based on like reputation and like Lux Coffee Shop, which has been
Yeah.
huge for me, which is so wild because
Yes. Look,
who would think who would
I
think that it bounce me off, but I get so much work from Lux.
yeah, Lux. Actually, that seems familiar. I think I went to school with the son of
Oh,
the
probably,
oh
probably.
yeah, I think I went to school. That's random, but that
Well, not random, but see, that's what I mean. That's how
yeah,
Phoenix is.
that's how Phoenix is. It really is. Plus, I've been in Phoenix. I've been to three of the top or like three of the private schools.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
I know people from all across,
Yeah. It's
and it's
fantastic.
scary how just like, oh, I'm family friends with them. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Wild how it interlocks. It's like this
yeah.
huge city, but it's really small.
It's really
But it's cool. That's
yeah.
funny.
So that's so cool. I didn't realize you were never in a gallery. I
Yeah.
just so you just created your
Yes, created my own scene. I mean, I've had like pieces in galleries at moments, like Art
mo
One. I don't know if you've ever heard of Art One.
yes,
It's like
yes.
like an emerging art gallery in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
I showed in there. Actually took that piece of art from the coffee shop that I first showed in, and I took it to Craig at Art One. He put it in the window. He sold it, and I never went back. I don't know why. I was just like, did the gallery thing. I'm over it. Don't need to do it. I'm just going to do it on my own. Not in an arrogant way, just like, I don't know.
So
I just never pursued that.
so you okay, so he sold it Meaning, or did you sell it to him, or
No, no, no. He
like
sells.
was
He
like
sells for work. He
it was just like a split type of situation?
Yeah, yeah, it was a 50-50 split, and there was, like, no contract, no nothing. That's what he kinda did at the time.
Yeah.
Is bring in whatever you want, and we'll sell it. But I did the one piece, sold it, and then I never did it again. I don't know why. Yeah,
Well, it's worked out.
yeah. I mean, and I've been lucky enough to be in shows here and there, and, like, shows at the Phoenix Art Museum, shows like, Smoka's got one of my pieces, in their permanent collection.
Oh, really?
Uh, yeah, yeah, and I've done a show at the Yuma Art Museum. I've done, lots of I've been in an ASU Art Museum show. So I've had a lot of cool places that I've shown my work, which I think really helps. It helps with, with who you are and the reputation. But yeah, the gallery thing was just kind of did it on my own. Really wild.
Yeah. So,
Like I would never suggest doing it that way. It's just I feel like I got lucky or I'm still getting lucky. I don't know how it's happening.
'cause
Just
we're born lucky. It's
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we believe in the Bosch family, in the sense of like things are meant for us. Things
I
um okay, so what do you think, so within that, within what you've told me, what do you think was like the turning point, or like the most, like the biggest stepping stone, like
Oh, it's a hard well, I mean, that would be I mean, 2 of them really in my life. One was my parents got called into school because I was drawing on my algebra tests, and my teacher said that Randy's not gonna make a living as an artist, he needs to learn algebra, and I kinda took that on as a challenge really early on. And then I had some really cool art teachers in high school, which kind of taught me some things and a photography teacher that kinda taught me stuff that I still use today. And then again, it was that community college professor that told me, "You can't take my class unless you paint." If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be painting. I really just like to draw. I taught myself how to paint in his class because he made me, or he wouldn't let me be there. So that I think was massive turning point. And then the rest is like you say, it's like just such a blessing, and it's like just meant to be. I used the rolled carpet analogy. It's like my life is this rolled up carpet, and I kick it out like 10 feet, and then all these nuggets come out of it, and I walk through, and then I kick it again, and then all these opportunities come through, and I kick
yeah.
it again. And it's just they're all there waiting for me. I just have to, earn my time and walk that path and keep kicking it forward. So it's pretty wild. It's kind of happened that way.
I I never thought of it like that, but I agree. Um
Yeah.
okay, so when now it's like I have a couple questions on like the business, like money. If you
Yeah. Do it.
how how do you price your work?
So hard. That's the hardest, most difficult, very difficult question, very difficult thing to do. It used to be I would base it on emotion, and sometimes I still do. I'm kind of all over the place, but I try to stay in a range. You don't wanna make your collectors angry by you selling it real high, then selling something real low. So you kinda have to stay on a steady
Yeah,
state.
true, because they want, I mean,
Very
of
important.
course they buy certain things because they love it, but a part of it is also the return.
Yeah, the return investment, exactly. Well, and you don't wanna pay $10,000 for a painting and then find out that you sold a painting to someone else for $2,000. You'd be really angry, "Hi, I got ripped off." So, mostly, I try to do it by
Mm.
size, intricacy, you know what I mean? Depending on how difficult it's gonna be in time, but mostly it's mostly size because I usually am really happy just to be painting, and I can
Oh.
like, with the gallery, they take most of them take 50% of your money. So that's why I've been able to keep my prices kind of lower because like I tell my patrons that I'm already half it's like you're getting half off already because this would be this much in a gallery, but I can offer it to you for this much because I don't have to pay.
Oh, so
Make
basic
sense?
oh, yeah, that makes sense. So basically, what you're saying, if you would give it to a gallery, you might wanna price it higher just
Yeah,
because
well, they
you're
would
gonna
have
get
to.
less?
Yeah, the gallery would double it. So let's say
Oh.
So let's say that, I had a painting for $5,000. Well, I would put it in the gallery. The gallery would charge $10,000. So then the gallery would get a five and I would get five. So by that rationale, I can cut that 5 out by just you're buying it directly from me. So I know we're kind of veering off, but really basically that I try to do it by size. That's the
Okay,
only way I've been
fine.
able to really it's the only way I've been able to kind of make a pattern of how I price. But my paint's so huge too, so it's really difficult because and I don't go small because a lot of times people say, "Well, how much?" And I'll say this much for this size, and they're like, "Oh, well, how much for this?" And I'm like, "Well, I won't do anything under like 3 by 5, which me that is teeny tiny. That's small."
3 by 5. Yeah. That's
3 foot by
sure. Yeah, that's small. Yes, it's just perspective.
yeah.
Okay, so then in your gallery now, do you have other artists in there or just you?
I don't. I don't even really have a gallery. I mean, I have the studio,
Yeah,
but
the studio.
yeah, I
So
don't.
that showcases your work only.
Yeah, well, I mean, and we the only time we open to the public is Chaos Theory, that show that you came to, which we do once a year.
Yes.
But that's the only time, and there's what 75 something artists in there. So again, I might be the wrong person to talk to from the business end because the way we approach that show, it's really just art for art's sake, and it's to get to celebrate the arts in downtown Phoenix and to show people what's going on and the artists that are out there. And so we don't take a cut of any sales because I'm not really representing the artists. I'm only showing them for 1 or 2 nights. B, I know how artists work because I am one, and they'll just sell it in the alley for whatever they're gonna sell for and cut me out. So I'm just like, why make it weird? Let's just you sell it, take all the money. But then I also don't work for them. I don't help them. People come up to me and say, "Hey, I want to buy a painting," and I'm like, "Good, go buy it. He's right there." Or here's his number. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, I will help facilitate a little bit, but it takes a lot of the pressure off, and then I don't have to work. So
Okay, then okay, wait. Then yes, it does. But then those artists that you show for like couple nights,
yeah.
where do they come from? Do you do the research and find out, or do they come to you? Or how?
All the above. It's an absolute blessing and an absolute nightmare because I get hundreds of artists a year reaching out to me in all different ways. Email, phone calls, bumping into me at the coffee shop, hitting me up on my Instagram DMs, like everywhere. People ask me all the time, and it's so horrible and awesome because I wish I could include everybody, but I can't. It's so limited. The space we packed it so full. There's no room left. So usually the way I go about picking people is like it's more of an all around thing. Like I really want good, positive people that can represent the show and represent me. Because it's ultimately comes back on me, right? So I want really good people in there with a good spirit and a good energy. That's more important to me than a good painting. Because I've had painters in there that I think are world class, should be super famous, but just terrible attitudes, bummer people, just
Mm,
not, just kind of bitter, and it's hard. It's hard to represent someone like that. So they're not good team players.
yeah,
Not to call anybody out, which I won't, but it's just some people aren't into playing with the team. So
yeah, no.
because then there's others that are just magnificent, and some that aren't as talented, but they're such good people and doing good things in the community.
They
You
do
know,
wanna help them and yeah.
yeah, yeah, and so it's really hard because then now it's like I've done it so long. I think this is gonna be our 25th year. So you have people that are really established, which is awesome, but I also like to find the people that are right on the cusp of breaking out. That's my favorite part because
And that's
that's
the
what I need. That's what I needed as coming up, right? I needed
yeah.
that jump step. And it's funny to me that I never thought of chaos theory as being that jumping spot, but I've had a lot of people, like I had a, a girl last year who got in a pretty good gallery in Scottsdale because they were seen at our space in the chaos theory show. So it was cool. So it works.
Yeah,
So it's awesome.
that's great.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, yeah. I guess or Yeah, I'm just like thinking for a second. Um, it does go back to you. Sorry, someone's at our door.
No, go do it. Or do you need to get it?
And no, my mom's getting it. Uh, it does. I never thought that it would like. I didn't realize that it would come back
Oh yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
That makes sense though.
I've had some bad I've had some bad stuff. I don't know. I don't want to tell you, but I should tell you if it helps your project or helps you. But if you look back, I think God, it was Chaos Theory 13, maybe 2012.
Okay.
If you look it up, it was a pretty gnarly, really gnarly situation, but it kind of catapulted me and Chaos Theory to another level, which is pretty cool. But a girl brought in really quickly, an artist brought in a painting. Well, you should read about it, but it was basically, she brought in a painting that I denied, and I said, I can't show this painting. It was really bad. It was really vulgar. It was really like prepubescent, like pornographic and totally inappropriate for the show. And she went to the New Times, she went to Facebook, she blew me up, and it was like it trying to cancel me, saying I was a misogynist and a censorer and all this crazy stuff that luckily, and it freaked me out because it was really scary at the time because it all landed on me. It was all me at that moment. It was not the other artists. It wasn't the building. It wasn't my studio mates. It was just me. And anyway, in the end, the community rallied behind me and we're like, no, Randy's not that guy. You're wrong. You got it wrong. And so
The
it was
best.
kind of a good like success story. It was all kind of almost worth it, but it was horrible to go through. But
Yeah.
just to explain it, yeah.
Plus I'd assume. Um, I don't want to bring this up because it's like.
But you froze on me again.
Oh,
There you were. Go ahead.
it's like the. I don't know how to phrase. It's like bad publicity or like all publicity is good publicity.
Oh no, it's very true. It's very, very, very true. I agree. Very true. I mean, that gets into a whole nother thing of being an artist because you really put yourself out there and you put your heart right on the wall and you have to let people beat the crap out of it and you have to be okay with it. And yeah, you're right. It is what is the saying? It's all publicity is good publicity or whatever yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. But yeah, but I mean, luckily it ended up being really cool and a lot of good people came out and supported me. And that was like the biggest chaos ever. It was huge, massive. So it turned out to be a good thing. But just because I was a good guy, if I was a bad guy, I would have been burnt.
Yeah, true. I
You know?
I do agree with that. Like you can attract the right people to you by putting the right energy out.
Yeah. I mean,
And
that's
like you do that with your chaos theory. Like
yeah, definitely. I mean, it's more of curating people than the art. I mean, it's as much as curating people as it is the artwork as I do in my life. Like I only, especially now that I'm getting older, I try to only hang out with people that are going to make me better or that are doing better than me. So it'll keep me pushing, keep me rising, keep me going forward. You know, it's the same thing. I love taking on artists that are going to push me and excite me and not, and that it's just, and that's why I think chaos is so good because it has such a good positive energy in there. You felt it, you've been
yeah,
there. It's all
so
love.
fun.
All
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
Great.
And everyone like it was almost interesting. Yes, the wall or like going back to like the people, the art on the wall. We were like my dad and I specifically. We were looking at yes the art on the wall and like analyzing, but we were mostly looking at the people,
Yeah.
looking at the art on the wall.
Yeah, yeah. That's the best that's the
It
best
was so
part, but
entertaining.
yeah, it's so true. It's such a great place to people watch. It's such an interesting group of people. They're from all over the map. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
I loved it. That's why I'm like, maybe this is something because I enjoyed it so much. Like watching the people. Like yes,
Yeah.
you can find the artists and put the, but when they're actually interacting and like thinking about the art and like creating and forming opinions about it and then talking between each other
Yes,
where the interesting
absolutely. It's
happens.
my favorite part. Then you're depicting. You're breaking the paintings down and the pieces down and
Yeah.
really digging into.
I also love when people get so close to the and like expect it. Ugh,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. But
Like,
one last question. What is one piece of advice you would give someone just in general?
in general,
Or
just be
like or how about this? Like one about like becoming an artist in
well, it
and then one just in general.
yeah, I mean, it's gonna be the same answer anyway.
Okay.
It's how
Cool.
I live my life, and it's been such a thing that I wish I knew in high school. It was or at least that I believed in high school, and it was just trust yourself and be yourself and believe in yourself, and it sounds so simple and so easy, but when you really just believe in what you're doing and don't listen to anybody else and just keep thinking you're on the right track and keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing and make yourself happy. Oh, no, there I am. Make yourself happy with what you're doing. It's so important. That's the most important thing because if you're into it and you're doing it for the real you, it's gonna resonate with other people, you
Yeah.
know? And I mean, that's for everything that goes in life, painting, the art, the business side of art, all of it.
Yeah. Well, I
Right?
agree with 100% of what you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
I think it's very important to trust yourself. I'm starting to learn that I tried the opposite way or like not tried, but like I accidentally fell into not being myself.
Yeah.
And it can happen quick. And
Real quick.
it did not turn out good. So, and so
So
far,
you gotta be your authentic.
yeah, being myself has worked out great.
But you know what? You can kind of merge the two as well because I've done some things like I did the abstract part of the art world where I was like, well, I'm kind of doing this to please the market or do this, but I'm still going to do it my way.
Yeah.
Still doing it my way. At the end of the day, I get lost and in that train, you're an artist, you get into that trance mode and then 8 hours goes by and you go, what just happened? Did I do that?
Yeah.
You know?
Did I do that? Oh,
Yeah.
I have a grumble in my tummy. I'm yanky dicky type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
I honestly, I might have to go in a second, but I just wanted to say
Cool.
thank you so much for doing
Welcome.
this.
So easy. It was fun.
Yeah, and I enjoyed this conversation. I'm very grateful for you to have done this with me.
Absolutely. I'm honored.
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Becoming Wealthy podcast. I'm so, so glad that we were able to have Randy Slack on the podcast. It is so beautiful how he said at the end to always embrace who you are, be yourself, to have confidence in yourself. I think that is the most important thing when pursuing anything you truly love. With that, leave a 5-star review and share with an amazing person in your life this episode who you'd think it would impact. And thank you so much. On to another episode.